Hello YouTube, iFixitAll here, Team iFixitAll. Let's check on some potatoes 4 weeks later. As you guys know, I'm doing 2 rounds of potatoes. These potatoes, first round gets planted in hay last week of February, first week of March. And I'm in zone 6A. And you harvest right around the 4th of July. And then you got to have your seed potato ready. In other words, like maybe the middle of June or late June, middle of June or early June. Have some seed potato on standby so they get eyed up real good, and you can quarter them up and plant them right around the 4th of July. And then you've got August, September, October, and part of November, whatever, maybe late November. But I planted a little bit of potatoes. This is 4 weeks since I planted them. Round 2 potatoes. We'll see what they do. Looking pretty good so far. They're up and at 'em. And I'm going to let them roll with what they know. Got 10 or 12 little short rows here, but I've already harvested round 1. The wife has already sorted them out. I'm okay with how they're performing. I just didn't have enough seed potato to fully populate every row. But just so you know, my intention is to turn this into a perennial bed. By the way, that's not a weed. That's some big turnip. Do this in such a way to where it's a perennial bed. And what I mean is I will harvest not all the potatoes, basically. I'll muddle in underneath the hay, flip the hay, get potatoes. If there's 1 or 2 there, I'm just going to leave it. Go to the next hill. I'm going to leave 1 or 2 taters in every hill. Because potatoes volunteer easy. And I've noticed with red potatoes, and this is literally decades of experience. With red potatoes, if you get seed potato from like a feed store that's not treated so that they don't eye up while they're in the grocery store, that's your biggest problem with using grocery store potatoes. If you plant red potatoes, they're very prolific. I mean, 1 hill of red potatoes can yield a whole bunch of littles and a couple of mediums, but they're generally not real big. But then if you have some red volunteers, it seems like they're big and there's very few smalls. So ideally what I want to do with this bed, since red potato is my favorite, is turn this into a perennial bed of reds. I might end up with a hybrid. I just don't know yet. It's not like potatoes have an easy tendency of mixing. Got a lot of peaches on. 2 peach trees that are really loaded. And I've got these limbs braced with bamboo because, yeah, this fall I got to do some pruning. Got pears coming on. Doing real well. And for the first time in my whole life, Miss Brits made me a blueberry cobbler. I tell you what, can you imagine a blueberry cobbler? Has anyone had one of those? How much would a blueberry cobbler cost you if you bought one in the store? And besides, this is all homegrown, no store ingredient kind of cobbler. Grow your own food, people. It's pretty easy. Got corn coming on. I'm probably picking corn this weekend because there's quite a bit of it. This is all my seed from last year. I wait until I see the How do you check corn? Well, when you see the tassel starting to go black or just dry out, you feel the end of the ear. And if the end of the ear, you can squeeze and feel the corn itself. And if it feels like it's filled out at the end, then you're good to go. There's quite a bit of corn in here. I know earlier I was talking about hoping I could get more ears per stalk. But if you plant corn, just count that as one ear, and then you count your plants, and if you happen to have 2 ears, then good to go. These are all like 8 or 9 or 10 foot high. Well, this is eye level for me right here, and I'm 5'10". That's about eye level right there. Yeah, got quite a bit of corn going on, and I'm not seeing a lot of pinholes in the shucks. You're looking for little holes that have been drilled in where a bug has gotten in. These are getting very filled out. Now, these are all from my seed. All you got to do is pick the 3 biggest corn plants you have. It should be 3 because you want to always harvest seed from a minimum of 3 of the same species. And I'll end up saving seed back from the 3 tallest ears. The vast majority of the corn silk is still telling me it needs more time, like that. But there are ears that are going to have to come off, and as they do come off, it looks like my taller ones are ripening earliest. Alrighty, guys, well, that's the update so far for corn and taters. Got a lot of maters coming on. I got round 2 of carrots. I'm hoping they pop. I'm starting more brassica. Not seeing any carrot popping though. I think I do. Just they've only been in for about a week, and the ground appears dry, but it's not. I know there's cracking here, but it's just what happens in these raised beds of mine. I don't know why. Good looking maters. Crazy looking shapes. Beefsteaks. This is the year I've got to set aside some replacement beefsteak. Got onion seed. Save these guys back. Oh, that reminds me, I've got an onion top that I broke right here. He's still attached. I left the onion in. He's still attached, and I laid it right here. So there will be the eventuality where I end up cutting this off. Probably like right here with the other ones. There's several of them. And I'll hang them up in the wood shed over there. Let them dry out some more, and then I won't go through all the rigmarole of getting the seed out of the pods. I'll just dry the pods and put them in a paper sack, and I'll start them. That's the way nature does it. I've gotten rid of most of my cabbage tops and thrown them here in my little area for the chickens. Beautiful butterflies. Look at this. Would you just look at that? Little butterfly underneath the butterfly. How can we even think that human beings could duplicate what God has made? How in the world? We could never engineer something so perfect. There's just no way. Are you a honeybee? Somebody comment if they know what honeybees look like. Because I'm like, why can't I put a little GPS thingy on you and track you and find out where your honey place is? What are you? Can you crawl up on me? No, he says I'm gone. Isn't that a cool looking butterfly? I think I'll do a thumbnail. There it is at 10 minutes in. That is so awesome. He's busy getting yum-yums. Yeah, so a lot of things are getting kind of sketchy. I'm going to try something different with brassicas. This is a root from Brussels sprouts. This is a root from, these are roots from broccoli. And then I've got another bundle of root from cabbage. I heard if you dry this out and then replant it in the spring, these will pop and reinvigorate and stem up and create flowers and make the seed. I got a lot of research to do on that. I'm working hard on trying to solve my brassica challenges. We didn't have a lot of bugs. Here's the kohlrabi that I keep bringing up. You got broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage, and then kohlrabi. The bugs just don't bother this thing. And you treat that like coleslaw or cabbage or whatever, it's really good. Give that a try. These are our pole beans here. And the pole beans have started to kind of dwindle off a little bit. And as a result, I get seed from all the remaining pole bean that's here. Miss Brits has gotten what she wants. These guys, I'll let them go as long as I can. And I'll be drying them out. But of course, we've got some other breed of bean over here. I think these are called tenderettes. She's been picking at these. We've got plenty of beans put up. They're just hanging. Lots of beans. And she'll come out and walk through this little tiny area right here and get all the beans Miss Brits needs. Got a few beets here. We've got a lot of beets put back anyway, but it's not a good place because look down on this bed, you rotate up, and you're immediately blocked off by at least 2 hours of sunlight, which could be on this particular stall. We call this Bay 1, this particular stall. So I've got some markings on this nectarine tree where I'm trying to decide where I'm going to be cutting. Got orange paint marks that I want to trim. But I've got to be careful. I can't over prune. This nectarine has been good to us. Nothing's going on in this bed here. I think I've got some bean right here. Yeah. Oh, lima. Yeah, that's right. There's another onion pod. I should get out of that lima and pull it over here. Yeah, there we go. There's another onion. Proceed. I was disappointed. This is supposed to be spinach. I showcased this on a previous video, but I don't know what happened to my seed. It all fell off. I guess I waited too long. Because there was a lot of seed on this guy. And I needed that for next year. Sweet potatoes. Going absolutely gangbusters. I have no idea what we're going to end up finding, but I'm going to do the same thing this year that I did last year. I'm going to take some of this vine into the house, put it into a green planter like it's up on the tree house there. One of those green planters. Take it in the house and babysit like 15 or 20 of them. You know, get them to root out. Get them to root out in some water, and then plant them in dirt, and then wean them over the winter, and then come out in the spring and plant them. Got green peppers living among sweet potatoes, which who knew? Got a lot of peppers finally setting up. We're in bloom on a lot. Got a lot of green peppers setting up. And then in the middle of these green peppers that are setting up and coming on, little guys there. There's a few random purple green peppers. That's a decent size one. I should pick him so that the nutrients travel over to this other guy that's fruiting up. And some of these haven't even set on yet. Green peppers. They'll take a while. Green peppers like the heat. Thought I had another big green pepper. But they're setting on. There's some purple ones too. And I'm not really sure what to think about the purple green peppers. Got my peas. All of these peas hanging here. They're going to go to seed. I just got to wait until they turn brown. If I can find me a brown pod. Here's one going, well, that one looks like it's trying to dry out. But the pod will go real brown. Here's one on its way out. He's going brown. But when they do that and the skin gets to be like paper mache, almost thin, translucent type papery feel, I'll break them off and open them and get the seed. Put them in my paper sack that's hanging in the woodshed. I got to move these grapes. This was really, really dumb. Hey, what's up? I'm doing a video. Sneaking up on me, eh? So I've got to move these grapes and get them out of here. Here's some last chance cabbage. I planted these cabbage over here a while ago. And due to the peas and the grapes, it choked off sunlight. So that's the disadvantage in raised garden beds with hoops. If you ever build raised garden beds with hoops, hang on, let me check on some of this. It's like early August. I'm crossing my fingers I can do some late brassica, but if they're not up by now, they've only been planted for like 4 days. There we go. There's one that's popped. And who are you? You're a cauliflower. I'm trying to give them the cool environment that they want. This is supposed to be a cantaloupe. It'll never do nothing because, again, I'm in bay 6, stall 6, I think. Rotate my phone, and what do I got above me? Sunlight that's chopped off for the first 2.5 hours. I'm starting to believe this tree needs to go. That's a lot of firewood, but still, growing food, you've got to have sunlight. Got to have sunlight to grow a garden, don't you there, Toddle Popper?
Yeah.
Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
Say hi, YouTube. Say hi, YouTube. It's not that hard. I don't have millions of subs. Oh, no. Did you just die? Are you okay with yourself? Are you wanting to ask me a question?
Oh, I need help.
You need help?
You know that dirt bite?
Yep.
Bugsy don't say it's your head help and fix it.
Okay.
So I need your help with it.
All right. I'll help you get it down.
To the farm up at here.
All righty, YouTube. I got to haul a dirt bike down to the house. You guys take her easy. See ya. Bye.